things that go bump in the night.
What the? Jesus!
Me?
Jerk.
Sam B.
Okay.
Shrunken head, broken legs, body parts on the concrete. Cut 'em up, butcher style gators in the swamp. Red light, leave 'em dead, running like a track meet. Scared of nobody, what your motherfuckers want. Believe me when I tell 'em I'm a boogeyman beast. Leave 'em slashed from their head to their feet. Pin bricks to the chest of a bitch, well fed, cooking meat, cannibal trying to eat. I got a zombie army, and you can't harm me. Yeah, who do you voodoo, bitch? Drink blood like a vampire without warning. Who do you voodoo, bitch? Stand up.
I will get down to that song every single time I hear it. Dead Island, released in 2011, is a game that tells the story of Sam B, John, Perna, and Logan on the zombie-infested island of Benoi. And although getting some nostalgia points with me, this game gets a lot of criticism from the community for lackluster gameplay following a very appetizing trailer. But we don't care about community criticism on this channel. All we care about are the zombies. So without further ado, this is ranking every zombie in the original Dead Island.
Holy shit!
Coming in dead last on the list is this big guy, this tough fella, this big, cranky, dumb idiot, this stupid mother. The thug zombie is just your usual big, strong, slow, and stupid zombie. He does heavy damage if you get hit, but as long as you have one leg attached to your body still, you should be able to get away. They're pretty common throughout the entire game, and are usually lurking around with a group of walkers. But there's not much else to be said about these dudes. They're pretty annoying and slow-paced to fight, and don't have many, if any, different variants throughout the game, landing them the bottom spot on this game's list. Taking the 6th spot on the list are the zombies I'm sure everyone's seen at least once in their nightmares, the Infected.
Oh, what the fuck?
These guys let out a heavy metal screech when alerted, and run at the character at sonic speeds. They're also found in abundance throughout the story, but start spawning with weapons once you complete Act 2 and enter the slums. Although these guys can cause some trouble in large numbers, due to their low health, they're pretty easy to deal with. And they also lose some points for being annoying because they spawn so much during story missions. And coming in at number 5, we got the Walker.
The Walkers.
And I know what you're saying, Trey, it's just a basic zombie, how is it not in last place? Well, if it weren't for the basic zombies, we wouldn't have all the other cool zombies. I'd rank them pretty high against other game zombies, so I think that makes them deserving of a pretty decent spot on this list. They're obviously encountered throughout the entire game, and really complete the environment for me. There's just something that fits so well about a tropical island and zombies for some reason. Now, I'll give it to you, there's limited gameplay with a zombie as basic as this, but as you play through the story, you'll find new variants, such as zombies holding weapons or wearing armor. And they're equipped with a grab attack that can get you killed very quickly. But now, we're getting into the heavy hitters this game has to offer, literally and figuratively. Coming in at number 4, the bassist for Sigma from Overwatch himself.
What is that melody?
The Ram. This nutcase will send you flying to the next island over if you don't press space at the right time. You first meet one while saving the people at the church at the start of Act 2. He uses a charge attack to launch you like a baseball hit by Babe Ruth, but if it misses, he's stunned for a few seconds, allowing for the player to attack the weak spot located on his back. And if that's not dynamic combat for a game released in 2011, I don't know what is. But nonetheless, this guy's obviously been aura farming since he was 3 years old, and he puts the 3 zombies behind him on the list to shame. Taking 3rd place on this highly prestigious list of zombies is none other than Mr. Bag of Meat himself, the Suicider. Although all he really does is explode, he takes such a high spot on the list mainly for his utility, as his explosion will one-hit any enemy in the game. This is useful for whenever you don't want to fight all the zombies in a story mission. You can just throw a melee weapon at a suicider nearby and it'll clear the area. Granted, there aren't many, if any, player models for them. I mean, not player models, but character models for the zombies in the game. I think the one they do have looks really good. But overall, definitely a good addition to the environment of the game, and well deserving of its spot on the list in my opinion. But it only gets better from here. Taking 2nd place on the list is Big Tubby. Big bad tubby boy. The Floater. I could only imagine this guy smells like a mixture of skunked bush light and mosquitoes, and the acid he spits probably feels like a 14-volt battery exploding in your face when it hits you. So definitely not a pleasant fellow to be around, seemingly. But that does not make him any less cool or awesome. Maybe that, or it makes the boring-ass jungle section of the game actually playable. Regardless, I think it narrowly beats out the two before it, and deserves its spot at second place on the list. Now, before we get into number one, there is one honorable mention that I want to bring up, and that is the half-human, half-zombified Rider White, or the boss fight at the end of the game. Sorry if I just somehow spoiled the original Dead Island for you, but it is what it is, I guess. He would definitely take the number one spot on the list if I was actually considering him, but you don't really face him in the actual game, and he's not like the other zombies, so I don't think he should take number one. But overall, it's a decent boss fight, and I felt it was worth mentioning. Now, the time has come for number one. And I'm sure if you played Dead Island before, you already know what's coming. There's only one zombie left, but regardless, by far the coolest and most unique zombie in the original Dead Island for me is the Butcher. This guy isn't encountered until the late stages of the game, and his hands are cut off, and he has these little sharp forearms that he uses for weapons, and it's pretty cool. He's also just berserk like the Infected, but it's way cooler because his hair's longer, I guess, and he's buff. Not that I'm into buff guy, you know what I'm saying. He's not stupidly overpowered, but attacks fast and keeps you on your toes if you want to stay alive in the later stages of the game. I do think a couple different variants of him would have been nice, and there isn't in the game, but you take what you can get. But with that being said, that is this list complete and every zombie ranked. I hope you enjoyed watching it and you didn't think my picks were too stupid. Be sure to subscribe. See you guys later.
Did you see that, man? That was fucking voodoo, not a living dead shit.